Hollywood, in my opinion, is in big trouble just because of the state of the industry and the movies they're putting out and how many people are actually going to go and watch these movies. Now, before, at least a decade before, Hollywood always brought out new, interesting, different movies, and that got people excited. People wanted to watch these movies. They made a lot of great movies, but after a certain point, I think the creative well, or so to speak, ran out in Hollywood, and they don't really know where to go from there. And because of that, they decide to try a new formula of making sequels to the previous movies, which everyone loved, way too early as opposed to the movie that came out. And the second choice they made was to make live action versions of games, cartoons, comic books. And the comic book thing did work for a while with the Marvel movies and all. But still, even that isn't all that refreshing anymore. And then there's the sequel stuff. Everything has a sequel now. You cannot make one movie, end the story well, leave it alone, and let people use their imagination to think about what probably happened afterwards. No, you have to make a sequel for every movie. It's a sequel for a movie that came out maybe even a couple of decades ago, and then completely ruin the franchise for everyone who loved those movies. That's what's been happening in Hollywood right now. These three main things, and it's not really working. Sure, there are some exceptions like Top Gun Maverick, that was a huge hit, and Barbie was a hit, and Marvel was doing well for a while. But yeah, it's not really a surefire strategy to get continuous success in the industry. And where does Hollywood honestly go from there? And if you think about it, I mean, how many stories can they come up with? Can they do? You need a new person to come up with a new idea, a new story, and there's a limit to how many stories you can come up with that feels original. That's the thing. It's not that the stories are different. It's just they don't feel original. They feel like we've seen it somewhere before in certain movies here and there. And people are getting tired of that. And it's a big problem. And what strategy should Hollywood honestly do to recover from this? Well, I have a couple of ideas. One is hardcore action movies. I mean, action movies are the type of movies that you don't really care about the plot, you don't care about who the characters are or what they're doing or the stakes or anything. You're just here to see the action. And people like seeing hardcore action movies, and that would honestly work because those movies didn't have anything substantial underneath to begin with. You know what you're going to see when you're seeing these movies, and they should really start focusing more on that stuff, serious hardcore action movies. And the second is, well, rom-coms, romantic comedies. I mean, you need something to attract the family audience to. You want everyone to go and watch these movies. And a rom-com is a safe bet. You know, a relatively PG level rom-com movie. Oh, and yeah, these are the two strategies that I feel like could work. And rom-coms, similar to action movies, they don't really have a hardcore story to begin with either. I mean, there is some bit of a story there, but it's more about the way that the characters are interacting with each other and some comedy and all that stuff. And the third thing you could do is make a hardcore comedy movie. Now, making a comedy movie is hard. I mean, you need the jokes to land right. You need the jokes to be relatable to the audience. And there's a lot of stuff to work around there, but it can be done. And from what I'm hearing, there is a scary movie six that might be coming out, and yeah, that feels like the right way to go. The scary movie franchise, at least until the first three movies, were really good. And if this movie managed to follow that strategy, and considering how much people want to see something unique and different, this could actually do well at the box office. Because back in the day, there were so many other great movies to watch at the theater. The comedy movies, once the hardcore spoof type comedy movies, one of the types of movies that you would go to the theaters to watch. But now, considering the drought that there is, this movie is good enough, people will watch it. And let's face it, the streaming thing is, people are kind of getting sick of streaming. If it's a good movie, just release it in the theater and people will go watch it. People are tired of paying for streaming services, so if you release it on streaming, there's a good chance that you won't get enough views just because there are enough people paying for the services. So yeah, I feel like these are three core things that the industry can do, and at least until they find some new or unique stories to keep people's attention and keep the industry going. Because if the industry starts making money, then yeah, a lot of companies will shut down, and overall, that's not good for the industry and not good for us who all live in a digital media age where this type of stuff is more interesting and more accessible to everyone than ever. So yeah, that's what I feel like they should do going into the future, rather than just making remakes, sequels, and live actions. And if you're gonna make those things, at least make them well. A lot of those remakes, sequels, and live actions just suck, and yeah, I don't really care for it. So